Go over here to the, what is the West? The Midwest. Yeah, number 1 overall seed as of today, UConn, taking on Southern. You know, UConn had a pretty tough road last year and absolutely waxed the floor with everyone. It'd be interesting to see what happens when they have like the easiest opponent in the pool. They'll have to play the winner of Virginia Northwestern. Both these teams play pretty slow. Virginia, the epitome of slow, good defense, beats you 47-45. Northwestern leans into that style of play too. Ryan Lingborg, Boo Booey, good guard play. Probably get stifled a bit by Virginia. I'll probably go Virginia. They've been playing better as of late, but I think this is going to be a very tight, slow game. Not one of the most fun ones to watch, but that's just how Virginia plays basketball. BYU, Indiana State. This game would be crazy. These teams shoot so many three-pointers. They barely I think they both play 5 out, which means they have just 5 people around the perimeter ready to shoot threes. So it would be an absolutely wild game that would literally just come down to who is shooting better from 3 that day. Indiana State, though, has lost 2 games in a row in their Missouri Valley Conference. So they're still the automatic qualifier, but I don't know if their resume is going to be even good enough to get in as an at-large now. I'm just going to go BYU because Indiana State has not looked good recently, but they win the Missouri Valley and they get in. You're going to see a lot of people choose them as a trendy pick for their style of play. But BYU is the same way. They could, if they just get hot from 3 for the tourney, they could go pretty deep. Illinois, South Florida, so USF. A lot of people would be shocked if you said USF was leading the American Conference, but they played great since November. Do they have enough firepower to take down Illinois? I don't know. Illinois is pretty damn good. Terrence Shannon, while he still has his question marks about his character and his trial, not making me want to root for them that hard by any means. I think Illinois is poised for at least a first-round win. South Carolina versus Grand Canyon. Now, South Carolina is kind of a darling of the season. If you hadn't heard about them, they went on the road and beat Tennessee, which is a great, best win in program history almost. And they were picked last in the SEC, and they were leading before this week. For all of those reasons I said, they are probably going to be an easy target for an upset in the first round. And for any of you in here who have been watching my TikToks, I just posted the third part about Grand Canyon University today. I'm riding high on them. They have 2 losses all year. They've beaten San Diego State this year. I like Grand Canyon a lot to upset a team. And South Carolina is probably a pretty easy target for an upset because they're ranked higher than maybe a lot of people think that they deserve to be, not based on what they've done, but based on advanced numbers, analytics, things like that. Baylor, Eastern Washington. Shout out Brick, Eastern Washington. They're actually playing super good in the Big Sky. And Baylor, they don't play great defense either, and they kind of live and die by the 3 a little bit. So they could be susceptible for an upset. I wouldn't be shocked if this one happened. I'm going to go with Baylor just because, again, I'm kind of leaning a little more chalk in this. Michigan State, Boise State. Again, another Mountain West team. I've picked 4 of them, for 4 for 4 already for them to advance. Michigan State is a very interesting case because they are, their preseason ranked so high. They just had some bad losses, haven't looked all that great, but they're very dangerous. I think I'll take them to take down Boise State. I do like Boise State a lot. Shout out Roddy Anderson, my guy. So I like them. I think they can hang with good teams, and I gotta probably choose some Mountain West teams to lose at this point. So North Carolina, High Point. High Point's also in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. High Point University, yeah, North Carolina. So a big North Carolina battle. But I probably like North Carolina in this one. Houston versus Sam Houston. The Houston on Houston battle. Who is the better Houston? These teams hate each other constantly, are saying, I'm the real Houston. Houston will say, no, you're the Sam Houston. Florida Wazoo. Wazoo's a great story this year. It'd be like their 4th tournament appearance ever. They hang on, win this. They're ranked now, which is awesome for them. Isaac Jones is a great forward. Miles Rice, who is listed as a freshman, but he graduated high school 3 years ago. had cancer last year that he got over, and he's playing again. Florida has been playing well recently and has some good wins. They play offensive firepower. Teams have probably never played a basketball game against each other, if I had to guess. I think I'll go Washington State for the story. Back to pack. Clemson, McNeese State. Clemson has some great wins. They went into North Carolina and beat them recently, although that's not looking like as good as it was when they first did it. And McNeese State is kind of a machine in terms of mid-majors. 63rd down here, right? Hanging around with Virginia Tech, who I think beat Clemson this year. But I think this gap of 30, where Clemson is, to 63, where McNeese State is a pretty small gap in terms of your average 5-12 matchup. Yeah, I think if you take P.J. Hall out of the game, which I don't really know exactly, McNeese can do that well, but they're easy to beat. And I think this, for its 5-12 upset, this is a good pick. Wisconsin's a 4 seed, but they've also been kind of playing like ass. This team just it felt a little wonky to be ranked number 6. Then Purdue kind of kickstarted a chain of bad losses for them. And UC Irvine, I don't think really people know much about them at all because they play in the Big West, which doesn't get that any love really. But I watched them this year. They have a great starting 5. They have good, tall, big men. And I think Wisconsin's pretty susceptible. They're a bit overrated of a 4 seed in my eyes. So I'm going to go Irvine here. Texas Tech, Nebraska. While Nebraska is kind of barely sneaking in right now, it would be fun to see them in the tournament. They're really not good on the road. They need that home environment. They need Big Red behind them to really do a lot. I like Pop Isaacs. I like Grant McCaslin. I think Nebraska just doesn't really have it. Well, I do want them to get in because I think it'd be a good story. I'm going to go Texas Tech here. Auburn, Akron. I think Akron's pretty good for the MAC. They could do a little bit of damage. I think Auburn is a little too good. I know they played really well at home. I think this is a good spot for Auburn to get to handle their business. Oklahoma, New Mexico. New Mexico, the 6th and final Mountain West team in the tournament right now with an at-large bid. I like the Mountain West. All these teams are very equal, but I think they're all equally good. They all play really hard. They're all well coached. They've all been kind of building for this year. And Oklahoma is a bit overrated of a Big 12 team. They have good 3-point shooting defense, but they don't really have too much star firepower. New Mexico's got that with House, with Dent. I think they're ready for this moment. I'll go them to beat Oklahoma as a 10-7 upset, making that 5 of 6 teams from the Mountain West in the round of 32, which probably will not happen, but that's where I'm leaning. And then Marquette, Oakland. Marquette's got question marks all over the board. I'll take them to beat Oakland, but we'll see what happens when I get to this next one. All right, so we've talked about all the teams. I'm going to go a little bit more rapid fire here.